Presented by Horns and Hooves Entertainment. You're watching Bob Hansen, Tom Uchek, Sean O'Malley, Adam Fitzgerald, and Andy Van Meer. You still up? Live. It's Buffalo After Dark.
Okay. All right. What's going on, guys? Your host, Buffalo Bob. Tom, the douche, is not going to be on the show tonight, so I am stuck with two more bitches. First, I got Adam Fitzgerald on here tonight. How you doing, mate?
Sunburnt the fuck.
You doing okay?
I'm just sunburned, and I'm pissed off because I'm sunburned.
Did you put on sunscreen?
I'm not no pussy.
What? I mean, you can get skin cancer if you don't take care of it.
Well, geez, that's the way I'm supposed to go. That's the way I go.
You do you. I'll just put it on that. And then on the right, we have Danny DeVito. I'm sorry. We have Andy Van Meer. How you doing, Andy?
I'm going to kick your ass. I swear to God, I will walk all the way to Long Island and throw you in the fucking river. Anyways, I'm doing good. Just another Wednesday.
Oh, that's good.
Playoff hockey. Doing good.
Oh, yeah, damn straight, dude. I mean, we got playoffs to talk about. We got a lot to cover tonight. So I want to go over Antonio Brown, Ryan Kerrigan, the Stanley Cup playoffs, the draft lottery, which we're all excited about, and a bunch of other shit, including the cryptocurrency issue going on with the Devils as we currently speak, and a supposed trade rumor going around between Jack Eichel and Sam Reinhart. So I want to cover all that out.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, of course. So I'm going to kick off this video with the Antonio Brown situation, because the Antonio Brown is under investigation again, like fucking normal. And it's being reported that Antonio Brown is facing a civil lawsuit over a truck moving incident where he allegedly assaults the truck driver back in 2020. And according to the driver, Brown and his trainer assaulted him and also did around $30,000 worth of damage into moving his truck. The driver to this day, which is within 15 months from now, says that he still suffers from body issues and his mental state isn't a good spot due to the assault. And that's according to the Tampa Bay Times. And the suit is an extension of a criminal case that saw Antonio Brown plead no contest back in January. So if you're not familiar, Antonio Brown, when he was with those Steelers, I believe, or it might have been with the Raiders, and he apparently was moving some stuff over from his house, I think like in Florida, and he refused to tip the driver, his the moving truck guy, and he was saying, hey, you got to pay up, and AB was just mentally unstable at this point. Him and his trainer threw shit at him, and I think they threw a bag of dicks at him at one point. It was like candy in a bag, and they just continued to basically assault the guy. And then his trainer, I forget his name, got arrested and was charged for battery and assault, I believe, and has to serve community service, I think, for about maybe 6 to 7 months at best, if I remember correctly.
So, doesn't seem like a whole lot of time for anything, really. So I guess that's a fair trade-off.
I mean, it's not the first one that AB is committed. I mean, if you remember 2 years ago or a year ago or 2 years ago when he was having that whole dilemma with the Steelers, and then he goes to the Raiders and had drama with the Raiders, and then there was always something new with him. And then this was, and I totally forgot about this story. So I'm glad that it was brought back up again by the Tampa Bay Times. So for what it's worth, I think we'll have to see. I don't think anything happens to him, though. I think that he's going to pay it off, and then it'll be the end of the day, and then he'll just continue to play football for the time being.
Okay, I'll say this because no one else said it yet.
And the Caps just scored.
Of course they are.
3-1.
I'll say this because just no one else is going to say it. And I'll say that I don't give two living fucks about Antonio Brown or what he does. I couldn't give a flying fuck whatsoever. So whatever he fucking does, please talk about more interesting shit than this goddamn bullshit.
Okay. So I guess, there's not.
Yeah, he's spare parts. He's really not that much of a factor. I don't care that he won a Super Bowl with Brady. I mean, he's spare parts.
I mean, he's still a disaster from his Raider days, but it is what it is. So
he did that shit himself.
Of course he did. I mean, some people even think he has CTE, but you can't prove that until he's dead.
Yeah, well.
I mean, I hope he gets the help that he gets. I mean, he's probably been doing better. He's been staying out of trouble until now. So we'll have to see what happens to Antonio Brown.
You remember Wade Belak, right?
Wade Belak, yeah.
Yeah, Wade Belak, defenseman from the Maple Leafs.
That's what he was diagnosed with after the fact.
So he had CTE.
Yeah.
Didn't Rick Rippon have that too?
Well, it comes from a lot of hits to the head.
And I think Derek Bugard had this issue too. A lot of athletes suffer through CTE, which is sad because I think that the leagues that they play in, respectively, I think they could have done better for the players. But the leagues are too compromised to even help players at that age to financially help them and do the research and all that stuff to kind of improve the game. So I guess for prospectively, I think that there would be major lawsuits from both the NFL and the NHL in terms of CET, concussions, and stuff like that. So they don't last very long, because I know a lot of players who were in their peak of their primes just end up retiring because of concussion problems.
Yeah, that's a big issue.
Yeah, without a doubt. But then again, who the hell do we know? So, okay, so moving on, let's talk about the Devils, because apparently the Devils are suggesting to fans, I think it starts next year, and supposedly there's a report coming out that's saying the New Jersey Devils are going to be the first team in NHL history to launch NFT. And I'm not really sure what the abbreviation for NFT is, but if I had to guess what it is, it's a form of cryptocurrency. And I know nothing about cryptocurrency except by all kinds of shit.
Okay, is it Dogecoin?
I don't bet into cryptocurrency. I don't even know honestly how it works. I've heard people talk to me about it and saying, hey, you should invest into cryptocurrency or Bitcoin. And I've heard a lot of crap going on about Bitcoin with Elon Musk.
Good fucking luck trying to get into Bitcoin, because that's a lot of money per share. The new one that's came out is called Dogecoin, and it's going for under $1 a share right now. I think I own 150 shares of it right now.
Damn. I know, like I said, I would rather have paper money like we currently have in the economy, but like for me, cryptocurrency, I don't think is the best idea, because, you know, you have to put a lot of investment towards it, and then you just buy products or buy net worths, and then you just spend over it. As I know, certain like
it doesn't matter though. It doesn't matter. When this Dogecoin first started, it's supposed to be like the next Bitcoin, they're calling it. It first started at like a cent a share. It's literally up to like 70 cents a share now.
Interesting. See, like the only reason I know about Dogecoin is because A, it was a meme, and B, Elon Musk turned it into a joke, and then it became a coin company or a cryptocurrency company. So again, I know nothing about cryptocurrency. I'm getting into it, but I don't know enough about it to say a definitive answer about it, because even now people are still trying to figure it out. Like my brother is big into cryptocurrency, and he's trying to show me the stuff about cryptocurrency and how to invest and all that stuff. So, and apparently it's the new big thing. So I'm just like, well, I don't want to jump on the bandwagon just too yet, because I know no dick. Because the only thing I know for a fact is people are losing their shit over what supposedly Elon Musk did with Dogecoin or something like that, or whatever you say it is.
Dogecoin, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But the thing is, it's just another way to push society towards a cashless fucking society. That's all it is.
Yeah, I've also heard there's a lot of companies that currently, as we speak, do not take cryptocurrency or Dogecoin or Dogecoin, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Believe me, they will. They will. Believe me. Just wait.
Yeah, I know Tesla is not taking any for whatever reason. That's Elon Musk's thing, but it's whatever. Honestly, I don't know. I mean, like I said, I don't know anything about it, so I don't really have a strong opinion about it. What about you, Andy?
I don't, I tried getting into it a little bit with Bitcoin and all that shit, and I was just like, it just doesn't interest me. But I need to get into some other things though around that realm.
Fair enough.
But, I don't know.
Yeah,
not my thing.
For sure. And supposedly the Devils are also stating that with the starting bid at $6,000, the digital collectible comes with a physical replica of the supposed New Jersey Devils silver dollar coin and a pair of season tickets for the 2021-22 season. So if anybody's curious what this looks like, there you go. It says New Jersey Devils, and it says 1982 establishment, and it's in a silver emblem, as you can see it, kinda-ish. Yeah, it's kind of blurry, but the Devils are supposedly making that into a cryptocurrency one thing for like jerseys and tickets and other merchandise. I assume that's what it's going to be used for. If I have to imagine what they're going to use it based off of, that's just my guess. I don't.
What a stupid idea. What a stupid idea. Because you're the only team doing it. Why the fuck would you do that?
I wouldn't be shocked if any of the Canadian teams tried to do it. Like I wouldn't be surprised if like Montreal tried it or Edmonton or another big Canadian team that has this sort of investment to do it. Like I think the fact that the Devils are the only team currently doing it is a bit risky because what if, I don't know, like there are so many flaws that it's vulnerable to hacks and stuff like that, and people could steal their identity. So like I'm like I said, I'm not into cryptocurrency, but if I had to guess for what it is to gather based off of the information, it just seems very sketchy. And I don't really think a lot of fans would appreciate that, but there are those who are willing to try. So I guess for their sake, they're going to give it a 1-year season tryout, see if it works out. And if it works out, they may use it going forward. If not, then they'll just abandon it, I guess. I mean, you can literally get a New Jersey Devils coin on eBay for like $50 to $60 if you're willing to pay that kind of money.
Not for New Jersey, nope.
It is what it is, I guess. I mean, it's the Devils. That's on New Jersey. That's their choice if they want to make it or not. I mean, I'm not going to stop the Devils from do whatever they want. That's all I can certainly say. All right. And then I forgot to mention earlier in the first segment that Ryan Kerrigan over the week signed a 1-year deal with the Philadelphia Eagles, and he's going to be making around $9.5 million with the team from leaving from the Washington No Names or the Redskins in this matter to go to the division rival Philly. I'll start with Andy on this one.
Yeah, it's a nice, decent pickup for him.
Certainly.
I've always liked him as a player.
Yeah, it certainly helps on their defensive end. It certainly helps on their pass rush and on their defense. So the Eagles can use some veteranosity. And sure enough, Ryan Kerrigan goes to the rescue and goes to Philadelphia. And supposedly Pittsburgh and Cincinnati were hefty favorites too, but he chose Philadelphia because of the scheme. But again, that's his choice, whatever he wants to do. Your guess is as good as mine. What's going to happen from there?
You wait for an opinion from me, or are you just going to move on?
Well, I was expecting you to say you didn't give a fuck, but if you want an opinion, go for it.
No, I actually thought the guy was going to go to the fucking Bengals. I thought it was like a set deal at one point. So.
The Bengals.
Oh, God. Going to the Bengals is literally like a death wish at this point.
Well, I kind of feel like he would have got fucking bank if he went to the Bengals, though. So
He probably would have, but then again, Ryan Kerrigan's been around for a long time. And for him to go to a team like Philly, even though they're going to suck dick next year, I don't think that he's going to really lose a step or two. I think he's going to be playing. He may be older, but I don't expect him to lose any of his movement, his momentum, because he's older and he's not the same player as he was. But
how old is he?
I think he's in his early 30s. I think he's like 32, 3, something like that.
Hey, so older, eh? I'm 33. I could fucking run circles on your goddamn ass.
Well, I'm just going to double confirm this just to be absolutely sure, because I'm pretty sure that he's in his 30s. Okay, here we go. Ryan Kerrigan. Here we go. 1988. Yep, he's 32 years old. He'll be 33 in August, just right around the time training camp comes about.
That's the prime, bud. That's the
Hurricanes just scored.
Oh, of course they did.
Of course they did.
Nashville's going to get butt raped in this series. They're going to get killed.
Looks like Aho for the goal.
Same with fucking, what's his name? Same with Colorado in their series. They're going to fucking rape them.
Good.
Yeah.
It's not the Sabres that are in the playoffs. Go Colorado.
Did anybody hear about the supposed COVID outbreak that's going on with the Blues?
I know Perron's on the list.
Fucking hooked. I heard there was another player that classified as COVID positive, but David Perron is a bigger name. But
I know David Perron's on the protocol list.
There's another player too. I think there's like 3 of them.
No, I don't know about anybody else.
Yeah, there's like 3 of them. I just don't remember their names. I know Dave Brown was the biggest name out of it.
Well, I mean, for what it's worth, I don't know if what was I going to say?
I don't think they tested positive for COVID. I think they violated COVID-19 protocols or whatever the fuck it was.
Well, I also heard a player on the Vegas Golden Knights broke a COVID protocol rule too, but I don't know how accurate that is because the NHL brought it up, and I said, all right, let them figure this out. Who was the culprit for St. Louis and who was the culprit for Vegas? And if they violated COVID rules, then they got to sit out for a little while. But
I don't think it was David Perron. I think he was just with the guy that did whatever.
Right. Yeah. And as for Vegas, I'm suspecting that it's Max Pacioretty.
Probably.
Because Patches hasn't played in the last 2 games. So I'm suspecting that Pacioretty may have had COVID. But we'll find out tomorrow if Pacioretty has COVID or not.
I don't think it has nothing to do with having COVID. Sometimes it's just breaking a rule that you should have done. And then you have to self-isolate because then you broke a rule that you're not supposed to break. Doesn't mean you're COVID-19 positive.
Right. And also, the NHL also suggested, even Doug Armstrong said it, that there may have been possible false positive tests for these players. So they're really...
This is what's been going on for 2 years. Everyone else fucking see that or what? It's all about negative fucking cases. False positive, I should say. My bad.
Yeah, and it's usually, I mean, when it comes to COVID, people have strong opinions about it, but it's like, if you want to have an accurate test, you have to get an accurate test. However, if you're falsely tested positive, then you have to go for, I would go for a second opinion, but I don't know if the NHL provides that or not, or any of these leagues. Because, like, well, if you're getting COVID, you should be able to at least say I was vaccinated or whatever the case may be. I mean, again, I don't really know the whole story, but I saw this earlier today because Doug Armstrong was making a big friggin' deal about it.
Ugh, enough of this shit. No more. Move on.
Yep. Anyway, so with that being in mind, what was I going to say? So Ron Hextall's younger sister, Leah Hextall, is now going to be doing the play-by-play and along with other roles in the beginning of next year. According to the New York Post, she's going to be getting a play-by-play role with ESPN next year.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a couple of weeks ago, Wayne Gretzky got a deal with TNT, so that's going to be fun. So
I want to see Ron Hextall's daughter. Share a picture right now.
Are you sure it's not his sister?
Or his sister. Just show me a picture.
All right. Give me a minute.
Bang.
Give me a minute, boys. All right. So I'm going on DuckDuckGo to get the picture of Miss Hextall for you.
Is that your fucking porn site?
No, it's an alternative to Google, and it doesn't.
DuckDuckGo. Oh my god.
I'd rather share with DuckDuckGo than I would Google. That's just me personally. Okay, here we go. This is DuckDuckGo. I'm about to show you, boys. And here we are. Here comes Leah Hextall.
Okay, bigger picture. Come on. Okay, body picture. I want you to see the goods.
Better?
All right, hold on. God damn, Ron, you did a good job. Oh, actually, it's not his daughter, it's his sister. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
all right. I'd fucking play with that.
Yep. She's probably in her 50s, I have to think.
I don't give a fuck how old she is.
I don't know. But, yeah, so the answer to your question is Leah Hextall is going to be a play-by-play announcer next year on ESPN. So that's a huge honor because now it's bringing more diversity into the game of hockey. And they've been preaching about this for a couple of years. I know the NFL tried this a couple of years ago, but that was...
Did you see what the Leafs did?
No. What did the Leafs do?
With, what's her name? The Canadian hockey star. They made her, like, player development coordinator or whatever.
Oh, freaking! I know who you're talking about. I'm pretty sure this was the Devils that made this move.
No, dude, go look it up. It's the Leafs.
Okay, what did the Leafs do?
Go look up like females they hired in the last couple of days. I can't remember her fucking name.
Maple Leafs.
I think it's Haley Wickenheiser, isn't it?
Yeah, Haley. I'm just gonna type in Maple Leafs hire Haley. I'm just gonna do that. Are you talking about Wickenheiser, Haley Wickenheiser, and Danielle Goyette?
Haley Wickenheiser.
Yeah. Okay, so I found the article. This was 2 days ago, and I'll read this to you really quick, just to kind of give you an idea. I just gotta wait for it to load because my computer's a little slow because I'm airing the show. But anyway, so according to you, it says right here from Emily Kaplan on ESPN, the Toronto Maple Leafs promoted Haley Wickenheiser, who already held the highest hockey operations role ever for a woman in the NHL, and is a Hockey Hall of Famer. So I'm pretty sure she was on Team Canada for women's hockey. Is now Toronto's senior director of player development, and the Leafs also hired another Hockey Hall of Famer, and Danielle Goyette, who's the director of player development. So that means the Maple Leafs development department is now being held by 2 women.
Yeah, most of them are a bunch of vaginas, so it makes sense.
Well, you have 2 female Hall of Fame hockey players that are working for the team.
Yeah, why not? Hey, I have a better idea. Make me a sandwich.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. And then on top of all this, the New Jersey Devils made a similar move, and it's being reported by Bleacher Report. The New Jersey Devils are hiring Megan Duggan, who was a U.S. Olympian who played on the women's hockey team. Who, ironically, I saw play at the Nassau Coliseum. At Eisenhower Park a few years ago.
Okay, go ahead.
You okay?
Mm-hmm.
Just wanted to make sure you could breathe.
I'm good.
Yeah, so the Devils are bringing in Megan Duggan as the manager for player development. So I guess it's development on players. I mean, a lot of women are now getting jobs across the NHL, and I wouldn't be surprised, honestly. And this is just me. I wouldn't be surprised if we were to see a female GM in the NHL within 5 years from now.
Oh my God! You know what? What gets a player motivated more than like bringing in a hot fucking player development fucking person that maybe like gets you off here and there, make you play better, I guess.
Well, I don't like. For me, I don't care if you're a guy or a woman. I really don't care. But if you can do the job, you're qualified. That's just how I look at it.
Well, hey, you know what? Maybe Buffalo needs to do it, right? Just hire like Jenna Jameson or some shit.
I wouldn't mind a female GM or a development.
You know who Jenna Jameson is?
No. Get some people that actually know what the fuck they're doing. Enough of these newbie trial basis shit.
What about
we're past that.
What about Haley Knight?
Yeah, if you, I don't know. I wonder what it's like for male players to have girls tell them how to play hockey.
Yeah, it doesn't go over well. It doesn't go over well.
I don't think they care. I think they just want to come and learn and how to be better hockey players. I think
no, they don't. Okay, I'll tell you my example. Okay, when I was playing high school hockey, we had an assistant coach. She was a chick, and she'd tell me to fucking run drills or run lines, and I'd be like, "Get fucked, bitch! I ain't doing fucking anything you're telling me to do because you haven't even fucking played a game in your fucking life. So what makes you think you're gonna tell me what the fuck to do?"
And how did she respond?
Oh, she's just suspended me from practice for 3 days.
Wow, would you look at you?
Typical woman. It's like being on an oil field site. You see safety coming by. It's a female, and they're like, "Oh God, here we go."
Yeah.
Pull out your fucking clipboard and tell us how to do our jobs.
Yeah, I don't really have that issue at all. I mean, I think people can be treated with all equal parts. I just think that
What a flirt.
Yeah, I guess. But I don't know. I'm just starting to notice changes across the league as far as like diversity among men and women to be playing or development or anything with scouting or I don't know. I think though, when you look back on it now, I forget her name, Andy. Correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't there what's her face? Something Granado. She's the
Tammy?
What?
Tammy Granado?
Yes, Tammy Granado. She's one of the like scouts for the Seattle Kraken.
Yeah, a lot of females are getting hired for stuff.
Oh God, it just blows my mind.
The Bills are hiring like female scouts for football, and I think I just seen Dugan from women's USA hockey. She's gonna be like, she's got a position with the Devils coming on next year. I don't know. Females are getting these jobs. I'm like, well, how?
Whatever happened to me?
Like, I'm not against it, but like, how do you get a job in a sport where it's totally run by men?
Yeah, but like, time though, who's gonna make my sandwiches?
Yeah.
I mean, then again, you got a lot of coaches in football that are female. So I don't know where these are all coming from. Like, where do you get the experience from? You never played.
Exactly. This is my point. Like, where are you coming from to tell players that have played in the league like fucking 10 years how to do their job when you've never played?
Well,
You know?
have you ever maybe considered that some of these players from their ages, they played when they were younger, they played in like the international stage, like in like the gold medal games or in the NWHL or like developmental
Those
league.
girls I'm fine with. Those girls I'm fine with. But I mean, they've played on the national stage, and I'm fine with that. In hockey, it seems to be somewhat decent. If it's coming from girls that have played on a national stage and have played some college hockey, sure, I'll give you a listen, of course.
Yeah, Haley.
But I'm talking about like in these different positions.
No, but Haley
Scouting and management, like how?
Haley Wickenheiser is probably the best women's hockey player that ever played. So her to be like where she's at makes sense. The other
night.
I don't know who the fuck she is or what made her special. You know, I just don't get it.
Well, I can almost be certain that Hillary Knight is probably the best American hockey player in the women's category currently in the United States, next to Kendall Coyne. I mean,
Coyne and Knight, Granato.
Yeah, Granato.
And now, was it Dugan? Was it what the hell was her goddamn name? I saw it today.
Yeah, I just said it. Megan Dugan. She just got hired by the Devils to be, I think, the manager or players or something like that. I just said it like 5 minutes ago.
Where the fuck is Rayum, the goalie, the female goalie to play for the Lightning?
The 90?
Yeah,
Manon Rayum.
Rayum. Where the fuck is she?
Let's find out. So Manon Rayum. Let's find out. Where is she currently?
I have her. I whack off to it every night.
I found her, by the way. It says right here, Manon Rayum is a retired Canadian NHL player and an Olympic silver medalist, and achieved a number of historic firsts during her career, including becoming the first woman to play in any of the major four sports. As we currently speak, she is doing nothing.
My God, like, why bring on something like that? Like, she has experience. She went through the fucking gutter, went through the grinder to get where she went. Like back in the fucking day when it was never a fucking thing.
Well, I mean, for Rayum, it was the fact that she played in a preseason game, not in a like starter regular season game.
Doesn't matter. You ever seen a female goalie besides her suit up?
Well, I mean, if we're talking locally, yeah, I have, but
locally, NHL, dipshit, NHL.
No, aside from Rayum, no, nobody else has really accomplished this.
That means something. She must have been good enough to fucking start against a whole bunch of guys.
There must have been, because, well, I can be almost certain that Matt Rayum is not in the NHL as far as like being a scout or anything like that. I mean, again, I don't mind women being in the development perspective. Like, I wouldn't mind them being in the executive department. I mean, if you're a girl or if you're a female who either played the sport of hockey or have enough knowledge to play or at least pick up on players, that, or you could say, let's draft this guy, or let's draft this guy, or let's draft that guy, then I don't have an issue with this. If they're building up the team to be better, I don't give a fuck what they are. If they can do their job, that's what that matters to me.
Here's my opinion. You have fucking scouts in the NHL, guy scouts, that have went through like vigorous training. A lot of the fucking scouts and player development players are like guys that have lots of experience in the field. I agree. Like if they had the same experience, so like Haley Wickenheiser has had international experience. She's she's like the poster child for women's hockey, like in the world. She is, and I have all the respect for her because she's done a lot in her fucking career. But when you get players like what's going to Jersey and stuff like that, where's your credentials? Like what have you done, for fuck's sakes? What have you done? You don't have credentials. Really. NHL fucking.
You don't have a lot of ground to stand on.
No, you don't. What makes you fucking think that you're ready to be head of player development bullshit? You haven't had any NHL experience other than like international experience. Like, what makes you so special?
I mean, for me personally, I think it's because of the experience from probably maybe being a scout or a player from various leagues. And these teams are probably looking at me like, hey, we want Cami Granado. She played on the Canadian Olympic team. Let's bring her in. Or, hey, there's Hillary Knight. She played on the women's hockey team in the United States. Let's bring her into our department. Hey,
wait though. I can guarantee you that like 3/4 of these women development player or development fucking whatever they are fucking, it's all the sex sells. Haley Weckenheiser, nice looking lady. Haley, what's her name? Night, nice looking lady.
Knight. It's probably the best women's hockey player in America right now.
Yeah, and hot. So I'm just saying, sex sells, right? So I guess that's could be half the reason behind it. So.
Well, I mean, it's not like that these players are never given a chance. I mean, again, they're all if they like I said, it doesn't matter to me if you're I've said it before, is I don't think it doesn't matter if you're a male or female. If you can provide good hockey knowledge, then I have no problem with hiring any of these people.
No, you know what? You're not listening to me because I'm just saying, like I said before, sex sells. So if you have a hot chick that comes in as player development fucking coordinator or whatever the fuck it is, they're gonna fucking bring a lot more attention than a fucking 50-year-old man that's smokes cigarettes and drinks beer all day.
Yeah, but look at that chick who is the GM of the Miami Marlins.
Who the fuck is that? What?
Yeah, you didn't know this?
I don't know who. I don't watch baseball. I don't give a fuck.
Well, the point I'm trying to make is the Miami Marlins earlier this year, I think in January, they hired the very first, I forget her name, it's a very Asian woman. She's apparently the first ever female GM in any of the major four sports. And she got that promotion from the Miami Marlins because they had no other candidates for the job. So they said, let's bring her in. And sure enough, she's supposed to be one of the best knowledge people in the field of baseball. So that's probably why the Marlins hired her, because they probably looked at her and said, hey, we want you to come in and develop our team and see what you could bring to the table.
Well, you know what? If everything else fails with the Miami Marlins, it'll be like, hey man, you can make a hell of a sandwich.
Yeah. By the way, I found her name. Oh fuck, that was page not found. Whatever. Something Nguyen or something. It's spelled and it's very spelled very, very differently. Kim Yin, so it's spelled like Kimberly and then NG. That's it.
Kimnage.
Yeah. She's the first ever female general manager in any of the major four sports.
She hot?
Not really. You wanna?
All right, let's see. I'll be the judge of that.
All right, fine. I'll bring up Kim Yin for you, just so you can get an idea who she is and stuff like that. Like I said, she's the first ever GM that's a female, that's a girl. To be
okay, we know what a female is. God damn it, you explain female, girl, fucking woman, fucking hermaphrodite. Jesus Christ, we got it.
All right, let me screen share. There you go.
Okay.
Just bringing it up. I know. Adam's gonna have a freaking meltdown and see what.
Sister.
Who? What?
Is that Jackie Chan's sister?
Could be.
Oh my god! And you said I was racist.
Not racist. It's just making a comparison.
God, it looks like Jackie Chan, female version.
She looks like a Benihana's cook.
Is it Kim Pagula's sister?
No. Fuck Kim Pagula.
Oh, God, she's a disgusting human being.
Yeah. Fuck me, man. That's all I'm just gonna say. So moving on, the Buffalo Sabres and the Calgary Flames are being linked to a trade that could happen in the summer. And Andy and I were talking about this for a little bit before you got on here tonight, Adam. And supposedly, the Calgary Flames and the Buffalo Sabres have been discussing a trade because Jack Eichel could be traded in the summer. And Sam Reinhart does not even want to be in Buffalo and has been linked to most of the Western Canadian teams like Calgary and Vancouver. And supposedly there's a trade proposal going around saying it's Jack Eichel and Sam Reinhart to the Calgary Flames for Matthew Tkachuk, Connor Zary, who was the 24th pick in last year's draft, a 2021 first-round pick, which is most likely the 12th overall pick, and a 2022 second-round pick. And with that, Calgary has 2 second-round picks, in which they picked up from the Florida Panthers in the trade in April for Sam Bennett.
You know what? I'll still stick to my guns on this, and I'll literally tell you now, that is not enough for Eichel. Not enough.
Yeah, I agree. But if you're adding both of these players, there has to be more.
Dude, I take Matthew Tkachuk, yes. I take the picks, the newer picks, the ones that are like guaranteed good picks, which is hard to tell, but if you know where the pick is, I'll be taking players that are ready to play, not fucking taking prospects.
Probably. I mean, if they're going to trade Jack Eichel, Kevin Adams has to strike gold with this. But the issue is going to be, and Andy's been talking about this lately, is his back injury. So that's going to be an issue in terms of his value. So depending what the Sabres give up for him, they have to make this work for both him and the Buffalo Sabres. They have to do it, regardless of what's happening here.
Look, I think, you know what, here's my second opinion on the matter. I think that Jack Eichel, the bottom line is, my personal opinion is that he needs to go, but you need to get what he's worth for him. You can't get, that's bullshit. That's not an offer, man. That's a low ball offer, especially if you're getting fucking Reinhart with him. Like, you know, that's like, I wouldn't take that for Jack by himself.
I wouldn't, because again, you're trading a franchise player, so you have to get a ransom for whoever trades for him. I know Calgary has interest, the New York Rangers have interest, the LA Kings have interest, and a recent merger in this situation is Arizona. So I don't know what Arizona would have to offer for Jack Eichel. I have no clue. I've heard the Flyers were brought up. I've heard the Wild were brought up.
There's nothing Arizona can offer you guys.
Listen. Every team's going to make a phone call just to see what it's going to take. You know that.
I can guarantee you the fucking Leafs will make a call.
No, I'm sure everybody's going to make a call just to see what it's going to take. And I even heard that Toronto would even be a decent suitor because of a certain player that would come back in that trade. Do you know who that might be?
What player is that?
Is it
plays on a line with your favorite player?
Oh God, no, not William Nylander.
There's not a fucking chance.
I didn't say Nylander.
Nylander. You can fucking have him.
Everybody has that whole Nylander check going on, but no, it would actually be Tavares coming back.
You can actually just Tavares though.
Why would
it would be Tavares? Because for a couple of reasons. For Toronto is because of the future. They're thinking long term. Obviously, Tavares doesn't have that many years left. The cap matches between him and Jack with the money, pretty much. I think it's 10 or 11, whatever. Yeah. And they still get a center in that deal with Tavares coming back. That's just how you speculated.
They probably get some picks too, right?
Yeah, probably because he's younger. Yeah, I'm sure you could probably add a little bit more.
A couple second rounders or maybe even a first and a second, something like that.
Yeah, I'm sure something more would be in the package. Second round picks, maybe a prospect or two.
Here's an option. I you know what? If it came down to it and I was like Toronto and I was like, you know what? We want Jack Eichel really bad and we'll give you Tavares. We'll give you a second and a third. You give us Jack Eichel and a third.
The problem with that.
Well, if I'm giving you a pick, I'm gonna want to.
Oh, wait. Okay, all right, this is even better. I'll give you a Tavares. I'll give you a second rounder, Sandin, for Jack and a third.
No, I would not take Tavares. I think the Sabres want to go younger. So I think they're going to ask, in my opinion, I think they're going to, if they're going to talk to the Leafs about this, I think they're going to have to ask for maybe a top prospect, maybe like Sandin or Ligerin, Timothy Ligerin,
I just said Rasmus Sandin.
Okay. I would also throw in either William Nylander, Alex Kerfoot, or even Mitch Marner in this case. Because listen, if you want,
you can't put Mitch Marner in that category, man. You're fucked,
dude. It's the only way you can really compromise this trade.
You can't
listen.
Wait.
If the divisions go back to what they were before COVID,
which I think they will,
I don't want to see him going to Toronto in the first place, and Sabres would be stupid to do so anyways, but I'm sure they would entertain the offer. But if it stayed like this and not be in the division, then yeah, I'd make that trade if it doesn't go back to it for quite some time, but it's probably going to.
But like, listen to me though. This is common sense. There's no way in fucking hell that Toronto would trade Marner when their two top point getters together are 66 points, 67 points together is Matthews and Marner. Plus Marner sets up all Matthews' goals. Why the fuck would you trade Marner?
And better yet, why the fuck would you put Tavares in a trade when you knew damn well that wasn't going to work out for you? And yet you're saying, okay, we'll put Tavares on this trade and then put Jack Eichel with this. Like, no, these are two inseparable players because one is getting older, which would be ridiculous for the Sabres to take on. And then on top of all that, the Leafs would just be just as good as they would be if they were to have Jack Eichel on their roster. Because then by this point...
Can you imagine, though, when you have Matthews centering the first line, Eichel centering the second.
Yeah, that'd be scary as hell.
I mean, it's scary enough. I mean, this is coming from a team that ended up trading Taylor Hall to fucking Boston for literally almost nothing.
Well, that's what I mean, though. But look at Taylor Hall now. He's just like, hey, fuck you, Sabres. Look at me.
Taylor Hall's an asshole.
He was snake bitten. He had so many chances to score and he didn't capitalize. I don't even want to hear it.
No, there is no excuses.
He should have had more than the 2 goals he had. He missed on a lot of chances.
Your guys' defense,
I'll say easily had 10 or 11 goals.
Your guys' defense, I'll say this. Not many players can go to Boston and not score because their team is good. And you could be put on any fucking line. They have 3 lines that are firing all the fucking time. So, like, the fact that he's scoring right now and everyone's making a big deal of it is – it's really not that big of a deal. You could put lines and they'll score.
Yeah, but we're going to continue to get backlash because of all the players that keep leaving and keep having success. Bogosian going to Tampa, winning a cup. I mean,
O'Reilly winning a cup at St. Louis.
Yeah, O'Reilly winning a cup. I mean, who's going to start wanting to come here now because of what's going on? It used to start becoming a place where you'd want to come to maybe try and lift this team out of the darkness. And if we lose Jack, I don't know who's going to want to come here for a few years.
I don't know.
It's going to be a drought for a long time. You lose Jack, I'm telling you, you're going to lose a lot of interest in a lot of players.
But I don't think we're going to lose Jack at least till next year at the deadline, if anything. Because this issue with his neck, nobody's going to want to touch really right now.
Well, no. I don't know. I mean, because you have to be honest here. The Sabres are the only team, as we speak, that has full control of his contract. So no matter what they do with him, they could go up to Jack and say, hey, we get it. There's a bit of a disgruntled going on between you and the team. I think it's best we move on from each other. But the thing is, the Sabres don't have to listen to Jack Eichel at all. They could trade him to whatever team that they wish to prefer to trade him to, rather than waiting 1 full calendar year for Jack Eichel to go up and say, listen, Sabres, my no trade clause is kicking in. I want you to not trade me here, there, or there. Put me in here or here. So if they trade him now, they don't have to worry about that shit. They can just get rid of him as much as they possibly want to. And Sam Reinhart is in a completely different situation too, because Reinhart is a big part of this too, because both of these players do not want to come back to Buffalo anytime soon. And the Sabres need at least one budding superstar. And Dahlin is probably going to be the guy, or even Cousins for all that matter. I mean, they got young pieces, but they need veteranosity. And Jack Eichel and Sam Reinhart have no desire to stay in Buffalo. And the best chance for them to be traded this time around is now, or later in July, around the time of the expansion draft. That's probably my guess of what could possibly happen.
The way I look at it too is like, it's either you trade to a team that's going to give you player-ready players, or you're going to have to trade to a team like LA and you're gonna have to fucking take a whole bunch of prospects, and then you're gonna have to wait fucking 4 or 5 years to see how they pan out.
But there's one problem with this, and that is that the Sabres will not listen to the LA Kings, regardless of the amount of interest. Is because I read this the other day, and supposedly the Sabres were saying, hey, we want to trade Jack Eichel to the Kings, but we want either Quentin Byfield or Alex Turcotte in the deal. And they're saying that if they don't provide one of these two players in a deal for Jack Eichel, the Sabres are hanging up the phone. Because there is no way you are just going to trade Jack Eichel to Los Angeles and not get any of those two players back for him. There's no way.
The thing is with LA is you're not going to get any proven NHL players coming back, really, unless you can swipe like an Adrian Kempe and a Gabriel Velarde along with these prospects. But are these prospects even ready to go?
No, honestly.
I don't know.
One would be Quentin Byfield. That's the only player I'd want in the process.
Or Turcotte or Byfield. Those are the only one of the two players I would take in a trade for Jack Eichel.
Turcotte, Byfield. There's Arthur Kaliev. There's Tobias Bjornfoot, who has played for the Kings this year. Cal Clegg. They got a lot of good young kids, but this team doesn't need more good young kids. They got quite a few already. We watched them all this year.
What about Arthur Kaliev?
Yeah, he's another good pick too.
The Kings have prospects, but it's just the problem is that it's going to take a while for them to fully develop into their potential. Because I don't think the Sabres want to wait that long for these players. They probably want somebody who's ready to go.
That's why they've tried to get these free agents in here and made some decent hockey trades in the past to get other players in here to up the process. But taking on other people's pieces, does that really get you out of the darkness?
No,
but the thing is though, that like maybe you guys are gonna have to fucking bite the bullet and did what Pittsburgh did years ago and fucking be shitty for fucking however many years, man. They hit the worst record in the league up until
I think there was like 6 years though. I mean, once Crosby came like 07, 08.
No, but they had to fucking bite the bullet for that many years to fucking get where they are.
Yep, tie game in Boston as we speak.
What?
Who scored?
2-2.
Who scored?
Marchand.
Little fucking rats. Oh god, them little rats. Good player, but I fucking hate the guy.
Yeah, but the point is that trading Jack Eichel this year alone is going to be very risky because you have to trade him to a team that is willing to take on not only his contract, because remember, Eichel's contract is worth $10.25 million, and he's got 5 years left on his contract. And on top of all that, he's in the peak of his prime, or he's about to peak his prime. And nobody wants to take it. That's going to be an issue. And teams like LA are not willing to trade Byfield or Turcotte. The New York Rangers, I think, are probably the best suiting team because by this point, if you think deeply about this, the Rangers, if they were to trade him for Eichel, they're not going to throw in Lafreniere. That's definitely out of the picture. But they have a lot of young talent. So I would not be surprised if Capo Caco was in this deal. But then again, Mika Zibanejad could be going in it as well.
Well, if I was the Sabres, the only player I'd be interested in is fucking Lafreniere. So
yeah, the Rangers are not interested in trading him, though. That's the problem. Because, again, like I said, there's a lot of teams out there who do not want Jack Eichel currently because of the prospect pools of some of these teams.
Like I said, they're gonna have to figure this out because either he gets this surgery done over the summer or it heals, or it's gonna get really, really hard to trade him because if he doesn't play at all next year, then you can pretty much he's gonna be able to dictate where he goes.
I think
once his no movement clause gets in.
Yeah, I think he's going to purposely sit out, or at least, in my opinion, I think he's going to fake his injury. And I mean, I hate to say that among any NHL player or any athlete when they fake injuries. I hate saying that because I think that's an instant denial that they don't want to be in Buffalo or any other city like that's really like legit bad. But I think he's going to fake his injury and he's going to tell the Sabres that I'm going to sit out and I'm going to recover from my surgery. And then afterwards, I'm going to want to request a trade, waive my NTC, and then go to whatever team I want to go to. And you have no control of that.
Yeah, but who's going to take him after that?
But that's the point. That's what I'm
saying. And there's a chance for it to fucking fail. Nobody's gonna buy into it. So,
but that's
it just got so much harder now with this neck ordeal.
Absolutely. But again,
I mean, I'll still focus on what Sam and Risto can get me. I mean, they can still get me a couple decent pieces.
Oh yeah, Sam Reinhart's a completely different story. You can actually trade Reinhart, and Reinhart actually had a big year, and that's without even having to play with Jack Eichel. And I think with Sam scoring 25 goals by himself at this point, it just further shows that he is going to get a lot of trade value. And I think he's really taken a step on his game throughout his career in the last couple of years, even with or without Jack Eichel. It's been proven, especially this year, that he can solely carry a team on his back.
You guys still have.
I wouldn't say carry so much because he really didn't carry it all that much. He's streaky of a player,
right? But
you guys still have Casey Middlestat.
Yeah, Middlestat stepped up this year too. Middlestat had a horrible first half. Same with Darlene. But then once Kruger got fired, both of these players just went on tear and just killed it. They both got better after Kruger left.
Option you have, man. Like, I think Casey Middlestat's like a player you can, if you don't fucking keep him, then like that's another player that you can use as a piece, right?
Yeah. I mean, I know that we're talking about trading him, but at this point, I don't think the Sabres want to trade him.
Well, I wouldn't. Fuck, I don't do it.
No. And I think at this point that if they were to trade Eichel tomorrow or Reinhart tomorrow, not that it would, but I think
the thing is, oh, go ahead, Bob.
What I was going to say is that even if they were to trade them tomorrow, I think Cousins and Darlene would be the key cornerstone players in this so-called rebuild that they've been doing now for pretty much an entire decade of incompetence. But Cousins, I think, could be a more motivated player as a leader than Jack Eichel would be. It's very possible.
Oh, fuck, that's a far-fetched fucking opinion.
But it's true though. Cousins has shown that he can be a leader. He's a very
he's shown that, but you're not giving. He's not elite. He's not a McDavid. He's not a Crosby. He's not going to be able to put this team totally on his back at age 19 and carry this team.
I'm not asking.
Yes, he has captain qualities, and he probably could be a captain later on.
Yeah,
I think Jack Eichel was like he came in at the fucking wrong time. And he just, dude, he's a good all around fucking player. Any team would die to have the guy. He came into the wrong time on the team when it was in shambles, and yeah, if you were Jack Eichel right now, you'd be fucking frustrated too.
Yeah, it's just
but he came in with a better supporting cast. He had O'Reilly, he had Evander Kane, he had Jamie McGinn. He had a good support cast, and that still didn't get us out of the darkness. And now we're going even darker.
I would think at that point when he was
players don't fucking click. It doesn't matter who the fuck you have. So if Eichel's not clicking with O'Reilly and fucking Eichel's not clicking with Kane, like it doesn't matter who you have, man. Like it doesn't. In the end, it matters what your fucking coach does or what your coach plays to your players or how your players play together. And like obviously, the last few years, Eichel hasn't been able to fucking mesh with any of these fucking players.
No matter what they bring in.
Well, he had that good year with Skinner. He helped him get to his 40 goals. I mean, that whole line that one year was clicking. And then next year, it really didn't click. And then Skinner got moved around, and there was no solid spot for him. Like, Sam and Jack have always been together. Yeah. So
I still think that Skinner got a bum deal though, but
Skinner,
he did, but he had opportunities on the first lines to put up points. He had his chances. He's just not totally converting. I don't know what his deal is.
Well, again, they could be another player's just fucking frustrated with the whole situation and they just can't do it there anymore.
Well, I think Skinner can always rebound, but it has to have the right players with him. And I said this when he was in Carolina many, many years ago. I said to many of my buddies, I said that Carolina, they had Skinner. He was good with some players. He had really good times with Eric Stahl, and then Eric Stahl comes to Buffalo, and they do nothing together. And then the next thing you know, Stahl's gone. He's shit in Montreal, and Skinner's by himself again. So you have to. The thing is with Kevin Adams is he has to go out and get a good combinating player for Skinner. And it's not just for Skinner, it's for the entire team. The team has to go through an entire makeover. And that's starting with a new coach that can play into a system. You'll have to get a new goaltending scheme. You have to get a new defensive scheme. You have the expansion draft coming up for Seattle. So there's going to be a lot of moving parts coming up soon that Kevin Adams is going to have to make. And he is going to lose a lot of credibility from the fanhood and from the fan base if he does not do the right thing. And that is with having to get some good second and third, fourth line players and first line players. They all have to click. You can't just stay, okay, we're going to have one good line and everyone else has to be shit. Because that's the same mistake Jason Botterill made when he was the GM, is that he had one good line and nobody else was able to score.
Well, here's the thing. Like, you think that Matthews would have won the Rocket Richard this year if he didn't have Marner? No, he wouldn't have. Not a fucking chance.
Well, did they ever experiment then?
Dude, they tried him. I remember Babcock moving him up and down from second to first. And Matthews fucking suffered on the line because he wasn't getting that same playmaking that he was getting from Marner. So every time that Babcock would move Marner to the second line and leave or put Matthews on the second line, it was just fucking with their chemistry. Now you have fucking O'Keefe came in. He's leaving them there, and look, results are fucking proven. But I can guarantee you, if Marner wasn't on his fucking line, he wouldn't have got fucking 41 goals. There's not a chance.
Yeah, but you also see Zach Hyman thriving well on that line too.
Isn't he a UFA?
Exactly. He comes up at certain times. He's in there for certain times. Zach Hyman comes in when you need a fucking push, and that's what I like with Zach Hyman. He doesn't. You ever see the guy play? He doesn't fucking give a fuck if he's coming into the boards doing 40 miles an hour. He's going to crash the fucking boards no matter what. He doesn't give a two fucks.
I'm not going to lie. Yeah, he's a pretty good power forward, and that's what the Sabres need. They need that kind of guy.
He has fucking hurt. That's what that guy has.
That's why I would love a Tkachuk. I would love a Tkachuk. I don't care if it's Brady or Matthew. I mean, they need a power forward.
I take Matthew, to be honest. Brady, a little bit younger, but at the same time, Tkachuk, I feel is like more like his fucking dad, man. And that's what you want.
Yeah. And from what I'm hearing is that they don't like the core of Monahan and Gaudreau. And they foresee Tkachuk being their captain in the future. So with that, if that's really the way they're thinking, I know that Gaudreau has chemistry with Eichel. So would they trade Eichel to Calgary and give us Tkachuk if they see Tkachuk being a captain? Or do they think Jack could be a captain? I mean, I think if he does ever go to Calgary, Gaudreau is not going to be in that trade. It'll be Monahan. It'll be Lindholm.
It'll be Sean Monahan by.
I never really had a strong opinion about Monahan. I think he's a good player, but I don't think he's a guy that could you say, hey, he's the final piece to our rebuild or anything like that. I almost viewed him as like a top 6 winger, maybe on the Calgary Flames, but he would be a top 9 forward on another team, and that's just me personally. But
fuck off. He's definitely a top 6 forward, man.
I just said that.
On any fucking team, he's a top 6 forward.
Put him on the Toronto Maple Leafs, and I guarantee he'd be on like on top 9 forward on like the 3rd or 4th line at minimum.
Dude, he's a player that gets into all the dirty areas nobody else does. You don't have many players like that anymore.
They say, though, he does get lost when Gaudreau's not on the line with him, though. So I don't know if Gaudreau makes Monahan or Monahan makes Gaudreau. So, I mean, they have chemistry. I know that. But like they said, without Gaudreau, he's like a black hole. So
I don't know what to honestly think, because at this point, the Sabres and the Flames could discuss a trade in the summer, and I think it could get to a point where they have to start discussing about what kind of players they throw in the deal. Monahan, I would not be surprised would be in the deal, and I also would not be surprised if Johnny Gaudreau would be in the deal. But my biggest thing is if you throw in Johnny Gaudreau, I mean, he's a good player, but he's not Jack Eichel. And another problem is he's a pending UFA, and he would not want to sign in Buffalo after that 1 year. He would want.
You're not getting Johnny Hockey for one. I can tell you that. You're not going to get him. You'll probably, like Andy said, fucking Lindholm. That's an option. Monahan, that's another option. If I were you guys, I'm going after fucking the Chuck. I'm going after Lindholm or fucking Monahan with them. Go.
Some people think Reinhardt's enough to get Kachuk for straight up. I've seen that.
Absolutely.
I've seen that. I don't think so, but I've seen that where people said Reinhardt for Kachuk straight up. I was like, if you could pull that off, I'd be happy.
I mean, I've been almost certainly telling you that whoever said I go for Reinhardt and Kachuk straight up 1-for-1, they're drinking the Kool-Aid. There is no chance in hell that's going to happen.
No, there's no that's not going to happen. I just see if you want both players to move as an Eichel and Reinhardt, you have to ask for big. You have to go fucking Chuck. You have to go fucking Monahan or Lindholm and fucking picks. That's the way I go with it. But
like, who the hell knows? I mean, Calgary is such a weird team when it comes to making trades. Have you seen the trades they've been making the last 3-4 years with Brad Treliving's incompetence? He's the only reason that the Flames are even close to relevant right now. Because the Flames, I mean, they're a good cringe playoff team, but there's no way with Brad Treliving talking to the Buffalo Sabres about making a deal in the summer and having to not add any of those players would just be a downright disaster. And again, I think if you end up trading Johnny Gaudreau to Buffalo on a 1-year deal, there is no way he is signing in Buffalo, especially after this clusterfuck of a potential.
If Eichel is not with Gaudreau or Gaudreau's not with Eichel, he's not signing.
No.
He's not signing.
It's way too risky.
You'd have to keep Eichel in Buffalo to get Johnny Hockey to come to Buffalo.
Yeah, you'd have to.
You have to, and the only way you could do that is if you are convinced. If you keep Jack Eichel and you trade Sam Reinhart for someone like Monahan, fine, I'll do it. But
I can see that. If we're not going to trade Jack and we're going to keep him, figure out his whole neck ordeal, keep him at least, hopefully, to the trade deadline. Who knows where we would be in that time period?
Yeah.
But then if he does recover and he is playing, you got Gaudreau and you got Eichel playing. And then, second line, who knows? Could be Cousins and Skinner and who else? I mean, the possibilities are endless.
What about a player like Noah Hannafin? Would you ever consider doing that if you were to throw in a defenseman?
Maybe.
He's not that big of a deal. He's not.
Yeah, like I said, it's a very scary, risky deal to make if you're the Buffalo Sabres because you're trading your best player and he's injured and nobody wants to take it. And like I said, Calgary's probably the only team, in my opinion, that could honestly make a deal happen for both.
The best option. Here's the best option for you guys.
Go ahead.
You keep Eichel because, in my mind, that's the best thing to do. But at the same time, other than this whole fucking trade Matthews to Chuck, which is probably never going to happen, you get Johnny Hockey to come over for a year. You test the waters with the guy for a year. Okay, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But if it does work and they fucking click, which I think they will, fucking sign the guy and then go from there. Work your fucking magic around Johnny Hockey and fucking Eichel.
Yeah, I mean, it's very possible. I mean, anything goes. I mean, who would have thought at one point that the Sabres were traded for Jeff Skinner and then signed him to a monster deal? Who would have thought of that at one point, even though he was linked to so many teams? Like I said, hockey and trades, especially for star players like this, is so interesting and it's so fascinating. It's because so many people are like, what the hell is going to happen? And there's no clear-cut answer. I mean, aside from Calgary, what about a team like Minnesota? Because Minnesota's got some good-ass talent. If you trade Eichel, and this is my opinion, if you trade Eichel, and I know for a fact the Wild, they're going to say no, is if you trade Eichel to Minnesota, would you consider a deal in which would possibly cost them, and I quote, Kaprizov? Would you do it?
Not a fucking chance. They're not going to fucking.
They are not trading Kaprizov. They are not. They're not trailing dollar bill Kirill.
What about Matthew Dumba?
You could see Dumba in that. He's going to be a free agent.
I would not. I'd still keep him in all scenarios. I'd keep Eichel where he is.
I mean, I love Bill Kaprizov, and I'm just saying, like, imagine if Buffalo got him in a trade for Jack Eichel to Minnesota. Oh my God, that the amount of fanhood would go nuts.
I'd be first in line for a Kaprizov.
It's amazing.
Stop dreaming because it's not gonna fucking happen. The guy's a Calgary trophy winner.
It's not.
He's gonna be fucking good in the league for fucking years. That kid's a stud.
Oh, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Is that?
But see, they're still a team that doesn't have a solid number one. Like Eriksson Ek is I think the number one there now.
Pretty much.
I think Greenway's the second line center.
Yeah, I think Minnesota's got some interesting assets.
They got interesting pieces, but I don't know if they have enough that I would like on the way back, coming back. I don't care if they put, Marco Rossi in it. I don't care if they put Dumba in it. I mean, there's no one saying there's no big kapow coming back from them.
No, I don't think so.
Kaprizov is like that player that was like he was a nobody, a fucking nobody, and look at him now.
And Minnesota is like jamming with him at this point.
Well, they were waiting for a while for him to come over. It took like 2 or 3 years for that kid to come over.
They knew he was good. They just didn't know he was that good. That's all.
Yeah, he brought a lot of magic. I was watching him from as soon as he got off the plane in Minnesota. I'm like, this kid's gonna be fucking magnificent. And I'm glad I wasn't wrong.
Dude, the fucking hands of that kid.
Yeah, Minnesota, the Wild better protect him at all costs.
But another team I could see Sam going to was, his hometown of Vancouver.
Of course,
see that happening.
Brought up. I mean, Vancouver's been brought up numerous times.
I would go up to that fucking trailer trash dump fire, but yeah.
I was told that he was going to be the Canucks at the time of Reinhardt's draft, that the Canucks were trying to move up to first with the Panthers to get Reinhardt. They wanted him that bad. But the Panthers weren't going to go past Ekblad. They wanted Ekblad, so that didn't work.
No, not a chance.
We tried.
But then we screwed up and we got Sam and not Leon.
Well, to be fair, this was before the Oilers got Connor McDavid.
Well, at the same time, he'd be nothing but McDavid, so get fucked.
Why is
I don't know. They play on different lines a lot of the time, so
I don't know. I still don't think he's as bad as he is. Like,
they're great on the power play together, but they don't always play on a line together.
No, they don't. And a lot of people say that Leon Draisaitl is like the king of German hockey regarding German-born players. And it's just like, how are you able to manage that when you're playing with Connor McDavid? I mean, that's the only reason that Leon Draisaitl is even close to relevant, honestly. And I know that's a very arrogant comment to say, but that's the truth.
It's the same conversation as Matthews wouldn't be anything but Marner. And
you always got to find a 1-2 punch. All these teams have 1-2 punches, man.
Yeah, the only team that really has a hard time finding it is really Detroit, Buffalo, and New Jersey.
No, we at least have 1-2 punches.
No, I said most of these teams have 1-2 punches, except for like New Jersey, Buffalo, Detroit, all the bottom feeders.
Yeah, I understand that, but you have the 1-2 punch fucking combo, the players that get the most points, but then you have the second and third lines that still get goals, and the Leafs have that.
Yeah.
You need lines that turn over goals, and that means more than one line. Edmonton, in my mind, you have a fucking good fucking first line. One of the best, probably the best in the league, but you don't have anything else. You don't have anything else.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of Vancouver, I wanted to touch on Vancouver, and then we'll talk about the playoffs and the draft, and then we'll wrap it up. Vancouver apparently there was a massive rumor going around that the Vancouver Canucks were going to fire Jim Benning in the end of the season. And it turns out too that the replacement was going to be Daniel and Henrik Sedin, and they were going to be brought in as executives in their operations department to run the Vancouver Canucks. And then just yesterday, it was being reported that Jim Benning is going to stay in Vancouver. And a lot of Canucks fans did not like this. And there's supposedly a big-ass rally going on in downtown Vancouver on Saturday to try to wipe out Jim Benning and Francisco Aquilini out of Van City.
That's not going to work. So either way, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm when it comes to protests in sports, I think they're worthless. But because I could tell you that fans tried to protest a couple years ago to have the Pagula sell the team, and they had like 10 people there, which was like pathetic.
Well, what's Vancouver gonna do? Burn down the city again? You know, like the fuck's gonna
happen? Imagine they did over 2 guys. That would just be sad.
That was like the most hostility I've seen by a bunch of Canadians in my life when Vancouver burned down the fucking city.
You know they did that when they lost to the Rangers, right?
Yeah, I know that. That's what I'm saying. Like I've never seen that in Canadian history when it comes to like sports. You never see that.
Yeah, imagine what the Leafs fans would do if they won the cup this year.
Oh, dude, Toronto will go up and fucking smoke.
Exactly.
Not gonna happen, but you know.
That's my point. Any Canadian team.
Anyways, move on.
Yep. Hey, so I just wanted to throw that out there. And then we'll get to the Stanley Cup playoffs because I know Adam and I were talking about this for a little bit. So I kind of want
to get to the fucking bracket.
Yeah.
Andy has to do this whole bracket.
All right, so we'll do a completely different bracket. Let me go get the matchups for a bit. So this won't take too long.
Right.
All right, because Adam and I were testing this out the other day, and we actually had different answers. So we're curious what this does for Andy. So I'm really interested in where this
goes. Wait.
What?
Do you still have our fucking brackets?
Well, I deleted it, but it's in my little recent deleted file, so I have to go and grab it.
Okay, so I just want to compare it to Andy's answers once we're done. That's all.
Okay.
Trying to test my hockey knowledge.
Okay.
No, I'm going to test how similar you are to me compared to Bobby.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Stanley Cup playoff bracket. I'm going to get a new one from DuckDuckGo, and I'm going to download that onto my phone, and we're going to go from there. Okay, I think I just found a good one. Yep, I found a really good one. So let me just put that in my phone, and we're good to go. Okay. All right, let me just go back, and we're good. Okay, so to kick it off, I'm going to start with Andy. All right, this is how it's going to go. It's a regular bracket until we get to the conference finals. Then they go back to the regular conferences like traditionally. All right, so here we go. Toronto, Montreal. And how many games?
I still hate the Leafs. I don't think they'll get out of the first round, but something else tells me they probably will. But I'm going to still go against them until they prove me wrong. So I say Montreal in 7.
Yeah, you're dead to me.
Of course.
I knew it.
Oh, God. Yeah, the rage from Adam. That's going to be scary shit. All right. Anyway, moving on.
Something tells me that they probably will, but I'm going to go against them until they prove me wrong.
All right, fair enough. All right, next up, Edmonton and Winnipeg.
Edmonton in 6.
Okay. Excuse me. Carolina and Nashville.
Carolina in 6.
Carolina 6. Tampa, Florida.
As much as I've been rooting for Florida to whip Tampa's ass, it doesn't look like it's going to happen. So I'll say 4-1 Tampa.
Okay. Islanders, Penguins.
I'm gonna been striving for the Islanders, so I'll say the Islanders in. I guess I'll go with 6.
6. Okay. What about Capitals, Bruins?
Capitals, Bruins. I want the Capitals. Probably take 7 games.
Okay, and then we have the Avalanche and the Blues.
Avalanche and Blues. My Avs will win, and probably, depending on COVID and all that crap, probably 6.
Okay. And then you said Islanders, and then you said Caps, correct?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just writing down the team so I don't lose my track here. All right, and you said Avs, and then Knights and Wild.
I can't believe how tight of a series and how well these two are playing against each other.
Mm-hmm.
I love watching Kaprizov, Bill Carrillo's one of my favorite players in the league. But something tells me, with the experience of the Vegas Knights, I think they'll pull it out probably in 6 games. Vegas in 6.
Okay, Vegas in 6. All right. So we have our shit ready to go. All right.
Okay,
next up.
wait. So, like, once you're done, I want you to go through our answers, and then, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll get to that. All right. I just wanted to make sure that I have all the notes. I'm using sticky notes, so Adam and I and myself can write our own stuff down. Anyway, moving on. We have Oilers and Habs.
Relevant. It's fucking relevant.
It's probably going to be Edmonton and Toronto when it's all said and done. But like I said, till they prove me wrong, I will say, and this is with Carey Price being back and all, it'll be the Oilers in 6.
I'll say this though: you see Carey Price in practice today, snapping his stick off.
He's pissed.
He got shot. He got scored on 5-hole, and he literally lost it, snapped his stick off. He doesn't look very confident to me.
No, not at all. And I think it could turn him. I think it could really affect him at this point with terms of how he's playing in the playoffs in recent memory.
Get ready to get fucking lit the fuck up, Carey Price. Get ready.
And not to mention he was on LTIR. He was also on LTIR for the majority of the year, but we'll see what he does in the playoffs.
And he lost at his conditioning game down in the AHL.
Yeah, pretty much. All right. Where was I?
All you need is a spark.
Yep. Okay. Canes Bolts.
Ooh, I think that'll go to 7 games, and it'll probably be Tampa because now that they got Stamkos and Kucherov back, man, they look like they're ready to defend.
There you go. All right. Islanders Capitals.
Oh, another one. I think that'll go to 6 or 7 myself. Probably.
Answer this right. Answer it right. I know what it should be.
It'll probably be the Caps.
Caps. Okay. And then Avalanche Knights.
Oh man, another tough one. Oh man, I can see this going to 7 just as well, man. Oh, I'm gonna pull for my Avs because they deserve a shot at the cup.
Alrighty. Now we're down to the final 4. We have the Lightning and the Islanders. I'm sorry, the Lightning and the Capitals, and we have the Oilers and the Avalanche.
Oh man,
really hard picks, man. It gets rough. It gets rough.
It's not
this
easy.
is where it gets tough, man.
It's not easy. I'll say that.
I would like to say, as much as I don't want McDavid to win a cup, and then that's another thing that Eichel's going to have to deal with, is being compared to McDavid, not having a cup.
That is good as fucking but
I'll go. I'll probably go 6 or 7. Avs. I gotta go with my Avs.
All right. So the Avalanche will go to the cup. What about Capitals and Lightning?
Oh man,
This doesn't get easy. I can certainly say that.
It never gets easy when it gets a deep run in the playoffs.
Without a doubt.
I want to say the Lightning will come out with this, but I am going to think I'm going to try and feel like Washington will pull this off.
So you're going with the Capitals.
I want to go with the Capitals. I want to see Ovechkin try and get another one.
Okay. Final answer.
Final answer, Caps in 6 or 7.
All right. So your Stanley Cup Finals, Andy, is the Avalanche and the Capitals. Who do you got?
Oh,
I'm gonna pick the Avalanche.
Gotta go with my Avs, man.
You're going with the Avs?
Gotta go with the Avs as much as I like Ovechkin.
All right. So Andy's 2021 Stanley Cup winner is the Colorado Avalanche.
Hey, go through yours, then go through mine.
Yep. I'm just going to write down his name, and then we'll compare them. All right. So I'm going to ask the same questions. So, all right, Adam, you're up. Maple Leafs and Canadians.
All right, thinking of the answer, I'll say 4-1 Leafs.
All right. So Leafs move on. All right. Oilers or Jets?
Oilers and 6.
Oilers. Okay. So we have Leafs Oilers for round 2. All right. Hurricanes Predators.
Hurricanes and 5.
Okay. Hurricanes.
Ooh, 5.
Interesting pick there, Mr. Fitzgerald. And then we have the Lightning and the Panthers.
Lightning in 6.
Lightning in 6. All right, so we're going with the Lightning. Okay. So those two are in play. All right, next up is Penguins Islanders.
I'm gonna say Penguins in 7.
Penguins in 7. Okay. There you go. And then we have Bruins Capitals.
Bruins in 6.
Bruins in 6. Okay. All right, Bruins in 6.
Really?
Yep. And then we have the Blues and the Avalanche.
Avalanche in 4.
Ooh,
Wow.
I'm going stronger than I did.
You're going with the sweep. All right, and then we have Knights and Wild.
I'm gonna go Knights in 6.
Okay, Knights in 6. All right.
Yeah.
All right, round 2. We have the Leafs and the Oilers.
What say you, Adam?
I'll go Leafs in 6.
All right, Leafs.
6.
All right.
Ooh.
All right, here we go. Hurricanes and Lightning.
Lightning in 7.
Lightning in 7. Okay. And then we have the Penguins and the Bruins.
Bruins in 6.
Bruins in 6. Okay. And then last but not least, we have the Avalanche and the Golden Knights.
Oh, this is the tough one. I'll go Avalanche in 7.
Avalanche in 7. All right, we're down to the final 4. We have the Bruins, we have the Avalanche, we have the Lightning, and we have the Leafs. So in this, I'm going to do the Leafs and the Avalanche because they're the closest, and I'm going to do the Lightning and the Bruins. So we'll do Leafs Avalanche.
I'll go 4-2 Avalanche.
Okay, 4-2 Avalanche. All right, so the Avalanche are going to the Cup, and then you have the Lightning and the Bruins.
Avalanche in 5.
No, you said Lightning and the Bruins.
Oh, Lightning and Bruins. Lightning in 5.
Lightning in 5. All right. So your Stanley Cup is the Avalanche and the Lightning.
Yeah, and the Avalanche take it in 6.
All right. So your winner, Adam, is the Colorado Avalanche. All right. So we have similar brackets.
What? No Maple Leafs?
No, I'm not stupid. I'm a hockey fan. I know what I'm talking.
Atta boy. Let's think logical.
All right. I'm going to send the bracket to one of you two, and you can read the bracket to me back if you wish. All right. So I'm sending it to the group chat, and you can one of you read that to me.
Yeah, I'll do
You're gonna do it, Adam?
it.
Yep.
Right, fine.
Hold on. Okay, Bobby.
Sure.
Let's start off with Leafs in Montreal.
I'm going to go Leafs in 6.
Okay, Edmonton, Winnipeg.
Oilers in 5.
Wow.
Oh Jesus. Okay. Carolina and Nashville.
Hurricanes in 6.
Florida and Tampa.
Lightning in 6.
Okay, I'm gonna do the whole East. I'm gonna do the whole bracket on one side first. Okay, so Toronto and Edmonton.
Leafs in 7.
Oh.
Wow.
Carolina and Tampa.
That's tough. I'm gonna go Hurricanes in 7.
What?
Whoa! All right, Leafs and Carolina.
Leafs Hurricanes. I'm gonna say. Jesus Christ. Okay. I'm gonna say Hurricanes in 6 in triple overtime.
Triple overtime.
Yeah. For the game winner. That's what I think.
Fantastic. Anyways, Pittsburgh, New York.
Islanders in 7.
Islanders in 7. Washington and Boston.
Capitals in 7.
Colorado, St. Louis.
Avalanche in 4.
Nice. Vegas, Minnesota.
Knights in 6.
New York, Washington.
Islanders in 7.
Colorado, Vegas.
Vegas in 6.
Yeah, I'm
All right. Then we have the Islanders and the Knights.
Yeah, Islanders and the Knights. Yeah.
All right. Well, do you want me to switch it up from just the conference perspectively?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So in this case, it would be the Hurricanes and the Islanders, and it would be the Avalanche and the Knights. So for this,
Avalanche and the Knights first.
What?
Avalanche and the Knights first.
Okay. I'm gonna go. Avalanche Knights. Jesus Christ, this is gonna be tough. I'm gonna say Knights in 7. That's what I think.
What's the other side? Fucking Hurricanes and
Islanders.
Hurricane Islanders.
I'm gonna say Hurricanes in 5.
So Vegas, Hurricanes.
And that's just being honest. Okay.
Sure.
Hurricanes Knights. I'm gonna say for the Cup, I gotta give it to Vegas. I strongly believe that they're a much better team on paper than Carolina. They have a lot more experience. So I'm giving it to Vegas.
What games though?
Yep. So
how many games?
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. I'm gonna say 6. All right. So I have everybody's sticky notes here. So for me, it was Knights over Hurricanes in 6. And then we have, for Andy, we have the Avalanche and the Capitals. I think he said it's 7. And then we have Adam with the Avalanche and the Lightning in 7.
You know what? I think me and Andy are more accurate, but
you never know, man. It's the Stanley Cup playoffs, for God's sakes.
Yeah. And friggin' Boston and Washington are in overtime again.
Of course they are. That's like the 3rd straight game. I feel like that whole series is going to go to overtime. That's just what I strongly think.
I think a lot of games are going to go to overtime with these teams playing against each other.
Series is be going to lots of overtime. I think Minnesota went to overtime. Fucking a lot of overtime.
Islanders went into overtime.
That's what I love about Stanley Cup playoffs, man. When it goes to overtime, it's the best.
Without a doubt. Without a freaking doubt.
You sit there and you watch basketball and you get a whole 20 minutes to score as many points as the other team, man. One shot, one goal.
Yeah. That's why it's the best sport in the world.
Exactly.
Exactly the same reason why we all.
I mean, it was the same for football too until they, decided to, put that new rule in.
Yeah. What do you call it? So, what was I going to say? So the last topic we should probably go over for tonight is the 2021 draft lottery odds. And these actually just came out today, and the draft lottery has been announced. It will be set on June 2nd at 8 p.m. So as of we speak, the Buffalo Sabres have a 16.6% chance with the worst record to win the first overall pick. Then the Anaheim Ducks come in at second with a 12.1% chance. Then the Seattle Kraken and the New Jersey Devils are both tied in the top 3 at 10.3%. And then the Columbus Blue Jackets come in at 8.5% chance to win the first overall pick. So
how much do you want to bet? How much do you want to bet that Buffalo can't even get this right?
Well,
good. I don't care. I hope they don't.
What? Get the first overall pick?
I hope they don't. I hope they get in the next 2 drafts, not this one.
Yeah.
There is no clear-cut number 1.
No, it's literally pretty weak. It's pretty weak.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll take one of three players that I really like, but I don't want the first pick. I'll take a couple people at second or third. I don't care.
Right.
That the one player though. What's his name from the Michigan? Is he from Michigan?
There's two players from Michigan.
Yeah, but the number one. What's his name? Fucking
Owen Power.
Owen Power and Alex something.
Yeah. He doesn't seem like a bad player, but it's pretty much a bum draft if you ask me.
Yeah, it's a very weak draft as far as like top picks. I think when was the last time they had a really bad draft, specifically in the first round?
I don't know. You'd have to go back and look.
Yakupov?
Hmm? Oh,
Yakupov and Galchenyuk?
No, I'm talking about like draft where there was no clear-cut winner of the first overall pick, and then it was just a very dull draft.
I don't know.
I want to say 2006, if I'm being honest.
2006. Who? What was?
I'd seriously have to go and look.
Yeah, 2006 was Eric Johnson, first overall to the Blues, and then directly after that was Jordan Stahl and Jonathan Taves. That's in the top three. And then I remember Phil Kessel was taken, I think, at 4, and then Nick Backstrom was taken at 5 by Washington.
It's not a bad draft. It's
really not that bad, seeing as how
you just pick wrong. That's all it was.
A couple of them got cups.
Yeah, but none of them were guaranteed superstars at the time.
Well, that's what I mean, though. But like, what's the last draft that happened that there was like the first 3 picks were busts?
Maybe like the 90s, I guess.
The old Yakupov fucking draft.
Let me look. I'm a look.
Well, maybe 12. I mean, it was a pretty bad draft.
I'm gonna go back to Yakupov's draft and see real fast.
I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but
all right. Well, your first top. All right, I'll do top 10 picks for the 2012 entry draft. First overall was Yakupov. Columbus then went with Ryan Murray.
Bum.
Montreal went with Galchenyuk.
Bum.
The New York Islanders went with Griffin Reinhart, Sam's brother.
Bum.
The Toronto Maple Leafs went with Morgan Riley.
Okay, that's one good pick.
The Anaheim Ducks then got Hampus Lindholm, solid pick.
Oh, all right, not all bad.
Minnesota Wild went with Matt Dumba, solid pick.
All right.
Penguins picked Derek Pouliot.
Bum.
The Winnipeg Jets picked Jacob Trouba, decent.
Stud.
And the Tampa Bay Lightning went with Slater Kukek, or how the hell they say his name.
All right, bum.
But guess who went 11th? Guess who went 11th to Washington?
Buffalo? Okay. What player?
Philip Forsberg.
Oh.
One pick before the Sabres.
And the Sabres took
Grigorenko.
Was it Philip Forsberg?
Yeah, it was Philip Forsberg. That the same year that they had 2 picks in the first round, the Capitals picked both Philip Forsberg and Tom Wilson. Could you imagine? I mean, even though the Capitals won the cup, could you imagine if they had Philip Forsberg on this team still?
Yeah, but this is a team with George McPhee that ended up trading him for Martin Erat.
I mean, to round I actually think from 11 to 20 is a lot better than 1 to 10. Okay, the 11th was Philip Forsberg. The Sabres then grabbed Grigorenko. The Stars grabbed Foxa, who still plays, but he's a third line center. Then the Sabres came back and picked Girgensons. That was the year when everyone was like, Sabres need centermen. They're weak down the middle.
Yeah, I actually remember when that trade very well. I actually remember that pick turned out was from the Paul Gaustat trade, which was sending him to Nashville for that pick, and it turned out to be Gaustat for Girgensons.
Yep. And now Ottawa went with Cody Ceci.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Who's now with the Penguins. The Capitals went with Tom Wilson, 16th overall. And then the Sharks went and grabbed Tomas Hertl.
Hurdle the turtle.
And then you had the Blackhawks at 18 picking Toivo Teravainen, who's now, of course, on the Canes playing well.
Yep.
And actually, this was the second pick of the Lightning. They had 2 picks in the top 20. And their 19th pick happened to be Andrei Vasilevsky.
What a stud. What a pick.
Stud at 19. More than the pick that they got at 10, man. It's just crazy how things work out. And then the Flyers ended up going number 20 with Scott Lawton.
Well, Scott Lawton was a home run for the Flyers.
And then to round out anybody worth mentioning, the Flames picked up Jankowski. The Penguins picked up Olimata, 22nd overall. The Panthers picked up Matheson. Bruins picked up Malcolm Subban. Blues picked up Jordan Schmaltz. And really, only 2 other people worth mentioning is Brady Ski was picked up by the Rangers, and the Kings picked up Tanner Pearson.
Tanner Pearson sucks. I'm sorry. I don't like Tanner Pearson too much.
I like him as a role player, as a third line player.
Yeah, but that's about it. But aside from that, he's done literally next to nothing. 2013 was pretty dull too.
Was it now?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was pretty dull.
Okay, look at the draft when Matthews.
Bro. 2013 was stacked, man.
But nobody really knew that at that point. I mean, McKinnon was no guarantee at that time to go first overall because everyone was talking about Seth Jones.
Yeah, now nobody's talking about Seth Jones.
McKinnon, Barkov, Drouin, Seth Jones. I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4 here. Elias Lindholm going 5th to Carolina. We all know who made that swap.
Yep.
And then you got Flames with Monahan, Oilers with Darnell Nurse, the Sabres with Bristow, Vancouver with Horvat, Stars with Nichushkin, which that didn't really work out. Flyers with Morin, Coyotes with Max Domi, the Jets with Josh Morrissey, the Blue Jackets with Wenberg, which worked out till this year. Yep. Islanders with Pollock. Sabres picking up Zadorov at 16. Curtis Lazar going right after Zadorov at 17.
Yep.
Sharks picking up Mueller. Another prospect I was high on for a little while that the Blue Jackets ended up picking up was Kirby Reichel.
Yeah.
And the Red Wings rounded up the top 20 with Anthony Mantha.
Yeah, he's like, where's he playing now?
Well, I don't know, the Capitals.
Yeah.
Ducks ended up good too. They got Shea Theodore. Capitals got Burakovsky. Of course, that didn't work out till this year. And
fucking Leafs did that year.
Leafs got Frederick Gauthier.
Third string fucking player.
Dickinson got picked by the Stars, who's playing well for them now. Ryan Harbin, obviously, he's been traded around. Columbus Blue Jackets had Marco Dano. I remember everyone was high on him.
God.
Flames got a player I don't even think made the NHL, Emile Poirier.
Yeah, I don't think he even played a game.
And the Canadians got Mike McCarron. I don't think he played much.
No.
Flames got Morgan Klimchuk. I was kind of high on him, but same with Hunter Shinkaruk. He didn't do much either. So,
well, all right. Take a look at the Matthews draft.
Yeah, I remember the draft because it was here in Buffalo.
Yeah, and if you look at it, I still love the day that they said Line A was better than Matthews. I still want to hear who's better.
It's still funny to see that the second overall pick and the third overall pick were traded for each other.
Exactly. So,
but man, I couldn't tell you how pissed I was when the Flames took Tkachuk because that was a player I wanted. And if they weren't going to get him, it was going to be Sergachev, and they ended up picking up fucking Alex Nylander.
Yeah, that was a bad choice. I remember at one point Bobby telling me that Alex Nylander was better than his brother.
Yeah, that was the comment that was being brought up at one point, was Alex Nylander was supposed to be better than William Nylander. And even now, I mean, the Sabres, when they had Nylander, he was so poorly developed. And I'm not making excuses because he sucks. But to be fair, the Sabres got a very good return for him. And that was for Henry Yokiharu.
Okay, so where's Alex Nylander right now?
He's in Chicago.
In Chicago, still rehabbing.
Yeah, he's done nothing in Chicago.
Nothing this year.
Who's the better Nylander, even though I hate both?
Yep.
Hey, go look at the fucking draft, the Matthews draft. Let's go through the top 20 on that. That was a good draft.
Austin Matthews 1, Line A2, Dubois 3, Pugliarvi, who's finally coming along 4, Yolevi slowly making his way in at 5, Flames at 6, picking my band, Matt Tkachuk.
Yep.
The Yotes going to grab Clayton Keller, decent pick. Sabres fucked up and drafted Alex Nylander. And went right after him was another player I wanted from the Canadians when they drafted him was Sergachev.
Yep.
Colorado took Tyson Jost, who was playing well on their third line. The Senators picked Logan Brown, who's slowly coming along. The Devils picked Mike McLeod. He's slowly coming along. Same with Carolina at 13, taking Jake Bean. He's coming along. Boston Bruins obviously picked Charlie McAvoy, who's a stud on D.
Goddamn stud.
Minnesota took Luke Kunin, who was traded to the Predators this past offseason. Another shining stud, another defenseman that I wanted if it wasn't Sergachev was Jacob Chikrin by the Coyotes.
Yeah.
And the Predators picked up another stud in Dante Fabro. The Jets at 18 picked Logan Stanley. The Islanders at 19, who picked, I think still be a good player, is Kiefer Bellows.
Yeah.
Detroit ended up getting Dennis Cholhowski, who's slowly making his way in. Julian Gauthier was picked up by the Hurricanes, which I believe he was traded to the Rangers. Flyers, I don't think German Rubstov has done anything. I don't even know if he's still with them or not.
No.
23, the Panthers picked Henrik Borgstrom. I think he's slowly making his way in.
Yeah.
Anaheim, Max Jones. He's slowly coming in. I don't think Riley Tufte that Dallas picked up at 25 has done anything yet.
No, I don't think he can play. I don't think he's played a game for fucking Dallas, has he?
And at 26, the St. Louis Blues picked the now Sabre, Tage Thompson. The Lightning picked Brett Howden, which I believe he's with the Rangers. Capitals picked Lucas Johansson, a defenseman. I don't think he's made his way in. And then at 29, the Bruins picked Trent Frederic at 29. And then at 30, the Ducks with Sam Steele.
Sam Steele. Good pick. But
and some goodies in the second round. Yeah, there was a lot of goodies in the second round.
That's what I mean. That draft was probably one of the best in the last few years.
Yeah. Well, some second round goodies was at Rasmus Asplund to Buffalo, Jordan Kyrou to St. Louis, DeBrincat to Chicago.
That's the best pick of the fucking bunch right there.
Sammy Girard going with the Predators before he got traded. Carter Hart to the Flyers. Cal Clegg to the Kings. Tyler Parsons, I think, is still a good prospect by the Flames. He's still yet to be seen. Carl Grundstrom from Toronto, but didn't he get traded?
I don't think so.
I thought there was a Grundstrom on LA and they got traded. Could be wrong.
I think you were thinking of Brandstrom, that one that played for Vegas, and then he ended up getting traded for to Ottawa for Mark Stone, I believe.
Was it Stone or was it Carlson?
No, it was Stone because Eric Brandstrom got traded from Vegas to Ottawa.
Okay. Stupid Calgary Flames. They traded Adam Fox.
Of course they did. It's Calgary.
They got him in the third round.
Yeah, some of these teams make some weird decisions, but then again, it is what happens when you what's what I'm looking for. That's just part of drafting. Is like you think you hit a home run, but then you watch them play. It's like, oh God, we made a mistake.
All depends on who brings their A game.
Without a doubt. So I think that's gonna be about it for the show tonight, guys. And we covered a lot tonight. I had a really good time with the show. And is there anything you guys want to say before we wrap it up?
Get fucked.
How's your mom doing, Bobby?
Yeah. How's your mom?
She's doing good. Her birthday's coming up in a couple of weeks. I just got to get her a card.
Yeah, I got her some bumps. I got your mom some bumps.
Yeah, me and Adam got a surprise for her.
Of course you do. And it's certainly not your hairy balls, I'll tell you that.
No, I'm going to run a train on her.
Oh, of course you do that.
Yeah, she's a pretty lady.
For sure. So with that being said, I am Buffalo Bob. That's Andy, and that's Adam. And we'll catch you next week when hopefully Tom gets his ass back on here at some point because he didn't make it tonight. So with that said, we'll talk to you guys later and have a good night.
Yeah, get fucked.